Yo, what's up? It's X here. And before the video starts, if you enjoy the video, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on what you thought. And tell me what kind of ships you guys want. And with all that out of the way, let's get started. Okay, so for this what if, I'm going to be starting off when Naruto was born. And obviously, Minato and Kushina will die like in canon. And instead of Hiruzen finding Naruto, he will actually be found by Orochimaru, and Orochimaru will actually end up performing various tests on Naruto and injecting him with various tests, I guess. I mean, what else do I say? Which will basically lead to him getting Deadpool's powers, such as super strength, regeneration, intelligence, and his healing factor. And yup, I'm gonna give him all that. He'll also be able to teleport. I don't know if I mentioned that. But yeah, that's basically what leads him to getting Deadpool's powers in the series. Okay, so Naruto will have all these tests performed on him in the test tubes like everybody else. Kind of like how Yamato had it all done. So in this version, Naruto will actually be waking up when he's 10 inside of a test tube and start to think to himself, where am I? This is when he taps on the glass and nothing will actually happen. Naruto will then kind of freak out and use all of his strength to hit the glass and break it. After that, he gets free from the test tube and he starts looking around and asking himself where he is and what had happened to him. Also, guys, I forgot to mention Orochimaru will not actually be around at the moment for plot's sake, due to Naruto needing to get away. Okay, anyways, Naruto will then run away and stumble into a nearby town-like village. He'll be there and a bunch of people will then give him a bunch of stares. He'll then just stumble around, not really knowing what to do, and just leave the village. Naruto will actually not have been eating all this time, and he'll actually be fine due to Deadpool's insane healing factor, and he won't need to eat. He'll then travel around the area and go from town to town, wandering, not really knowing where he's at, until one day he's just wandering in the woods and stumbles onto Kakashi on his way back from a mission. And this is when Kakashi would notice a boy in rags for clothes, blonde hair, and blue eyes, and he'll then be shocked and look at Naruto and say, "Hey there." Naruto would then look up and see Kakashi on a tree, and Naruto would say, "Hello, who are you?" Kakashi would then say, "My name is Kakashi. What's yours?" Naruto would then look up at him and say, "I don't have a name." Kakashi would then ask, "Why is he in the woods?" And Naruto would say he has nowhere to go, and Kakashi would then take a good look at him and ask Naruto if he wants to go back to his village with him. Naruto would then accept the offer, and Kakashi would then take Naruto back to the Hidden Leaf Village and report to the Hokage. Naruto would then see Konoha and get a weird feeling like he belongs there, and he'll go see Hiruzen, and after that, they would have their suspicions revealed when they look at Naruto and ask him to take off his shirt, which reveals the seal that Naruto has. And Naruto would then be confused and look at Hiruzen, and Hiruzen would then hug Naruto and say, "I'm so sorry, Naruto, for not being there when you were born and letting what happened to you happen." Naruto would then have a tear fall down his face, not really knowing why, but he would then start to break down, and Hiruzen would then explain what happened the night he disappeared and why he was late to save him. Naruto would then tell him that it's okay and that he doesn't know what he means because he just woke up 2 weeks ago, and that he doesn't really understand what most of this stuff means. But then Naruto would go on to explain that 2 weeks ago he woke up in a test tube, and Hiruzen would then say, "I see. You were taken by Orochimaru." Naruto would then say, "Orochimaru? Who's that?" Hiruzen would then explain to Naruto who Orochimaru is, and he would learn everything except for who his parents are. After that, Naruto would be given the same house as in canon, and this time, they wouldn't tell people who Naruto was so he could live a normal life. He would grow up after that, being trained by Kakashi and the third Hokage until he was 12 years old, and yes, he will actually be going to the academy and have the highest scores in class, and he would be having a lot of friends and be popular, kind of like Sasuke. Sakura and Ino would also have a crush on Naruto, and he'd be as popular as Sasuke, like I already said. So through the years of being trained by Hiruzen, they would all find out that Naruto has godlike regeneration, that he can teleport and has superhuman strength. He would then spend the next couple years training with weights, kind of like Rock Lee, and using the shadow clones, since he would actually find out the secret to it way sooner and hone many of his skills. After a couple of years, he would have amazing chakra control, and he was able to bypass the Nine Tails. In the beginning, obviously, his chakra control wouldn't be great, but he would train. And his go-to weapon of choice would obviously be the katana, and he will be extremely skilled at wind, fire, and lightning release. He would actually be a prodigy and know it himself. He would also train with the shadow clones, like I already said, discovering the little secret to it earlier than canon, and he would be a high tuning level at this point. Okay, so with that basic understanding, Naruto's abilities and skills, I forgot to mention that Naruto will actually have the Deadpool suit. It won't be like exactly like it, but it'll be kind of like that picture, like anime stylish. And he wouldn't actually wear the mask, and he'll have the two swords on his back. Also, Naruto would have the Deadpool personality and be kind of cocky and sarcastic, as well as crack a lot of jokes. Jokes, not jokes. He'll crack a lot of jokes, and he'll be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Charismatic, too. So that's why he's likable. So he's not going to be like the dick, like Deadpool, and mean to people. He will be like very charismatic and funny and just goofy. He'll be a very goofy person. So in this version, when they have the graduation exams, he actually passes very easily, and due to that, Mizuki's like a little like freaked out, like, oh, like this kid actually knows what he's doing, but he still ends up trying to make Naruto steal the scroll of sealing. And since in this version Naruto is actually going to be very smart, he will decide to tell Hiruzen and tell him that he's going to borrow the scroll to get Mizuki to the third Hokage and bring him in for questioning. He then goes off and learns the multi-shadow clone jutsu like in canon and stomps Mizuki. I mean, he manhandles this man, so he couldn't really do a thing about it. And also, I forgot to mention, Naruto won't build that father-son bond with Iruka. He will still be close with him a little bit, but this time he'll be way closer to Kakashi and Hiruzen, since they will be the ones who train him. And Hiruzen will actually be like that father figure for Naruto. And yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, nobody will actually know that Naruto has the Nine Tails within him except for Kakashi, Hiruzen, and himself. After that, the next day, Naruto will be assigned on the Team 7. After that, the next day comes around, and that's when the teams are signing. Naruto will be assigned on Team 7. Why? For plot's sake. And he'll be on the same team, on the same terms with Sasuke as the original canon. Except Sasuke will know that he's not the strongest, and yeah, Kakashi will be late like in canon, and Naruto will actually end up pulling the prank on him. And when Kakashi walks in the door, the little thing falls on his head, and Naruto starts laughing and teleports behind Kakashi and says, "Hey sensei, what's up?" After that, like, they'll basically have basic introductions with Kakashi being like, okay, that's that, that's this, like this person's this, and they will end up going to the roof. This is when Sasuke and Sakura's speeches will go to canon, and when Sasuke says that he's an Avenger and that he's going to kill his brother, Naruto ends up laughing a little bit, with Sasuke saying, "What was that?" and Naruto just saying nothing. Naruto will then give his speech, and he won't say that he wants to become the Hokage to be recognized. He says that he wants to become the Hokage to protect the Leaf Village and become the strongest ninja around. After that, Kakashi will tell them to meet him at the training ground for the bell test and tell them not to eat, but that won't be a problem to Naruto since he has a healing factor. And yeah, that's where I'm going to be leaving it off today. It's a very short part, I know, but it's just a test run, and I want to keep it here so I don't really advance too much or go crazy, just see how you guys take this series. If this series gets a decent amount of likes and a decent amount of views, then I'll obviously continue it, and on the next part, I'll be covering the bell test as well as the Zabuza and the Haku arc. But yeah, with that out of the way, X out.